So, it's really hard to say goodbye to something you love so much, and that includes the Hunger Games, which has been such a huge part of my life for several years since the first one came out in, like, I don't know, 2008 or something. And a big part of my channel, like, some of my bigger videos all had to do with the Hunger Games, so this is a big part of me, and it's so sad to say goodbye by myself, so I wish I didn't have to say goodbye by myself. Oh my god! Oh,
It's
hi!
me!
It is you!
I'm here.
Who are you?
Your worst nightmare.
Oh, Camille is here! Oh my gosh! If you guys remember Camille,
Hi.
she is my best buddy. And also, we did a ton of Hunger Games reactions together.
Lots of late nights when I should have been sleeping because I had work the next morning.
You're welcome.
That was when I was a waitress.
So, I felt like Camille needed to come help me through this horrible, horrible time of saying goodbye to
It was traumatic.
something I love. It was traumatic. It was. And so the problem is, okay, we have a lot to talk about, so we're gonna like hit every little thing, not as quickly as possible, but without making a 2-hour video, because editing that ish is hard. So let's talk about the books first. These books came out in 2008, and they were ish, and they became huge pretty quickly. And my favorite book is Mockingjay. You said before, a while ago, you said your favorite book was Catching Fire?
Mm-hmm.
Right, okay. That was actually my least favorite. But actually my favorite movie, even after this.
Yeah.
I mean, I loved this movie.
I think it was just because it was so dead accurate.
It was
We're
just
all
a
like,
good movie. I know, right? But also, this, I don't know, I think this new one is my second favorite.
my neck hurts.
Want me to punch it?
No.
So, I liked Mockingjay, personally, because...
I like Mockingjay too.
Yeah, it's a great book. It doesn't get the respect or love I think it deserves. It's a really, really good book. And everybody I talk to, they always give me the most vapid reasons.
They're all,
It's so boring.
It's so boring
It's
at the
depressing.
end.
It just takes a long time. I don't get why she's with PETA. It's like, did you...
Why does she
like,
spend so much
go-
time whining?
It just
Do
goes...
you not know what happens?
Like, it went all the way over your head. Like, I mean, don't get me wrong. You can have a valid reason for not liking Mockingjay. I've heard quite a few.
But it's boring is not one of them.
Right, and especially, I don't know, it's boring. Feels like that invalidates the really important message of Mockingjay, which is something I really want to talk about. So, the reason Mockingjay is my favorite, like, you know, I've read a ton of young adult fiction. For every 5 YA books I've read, I think I review maybe one of them. And it's because some of them are just not very good, and I just don't want to take the time to review them.
A lot of them have very formulaic plots.
And not in a good way, though. Like, sometimes those formulas work, but a lot of times they don't. Like,
Most times
you
they
really need to shake things up. You need to do things that are a little bit different, but also you need to kind of peer a little bit closer at your characters, at your plot, at your themes, you know. So, I think the reason I liked Mockingjay is because I'm very used to black and white, us versus them, good versus evil mentality. It happens all the time, especially in young adult fiction. And I don't like that. I don't like good for the sake of good, evil for the sake of evil, because that just doesn't happen.
It's not how people
It's
work.
not really a trait in humanity too often. And
Villains always have a motive. Even Adolf Hitler had motives.
exactly. But it's just like, I was just genuinely surprised, because it almost seemed like that's the way they were going with the Hunger Games, until I read Mockingjay, and it seemed very clear to me that Suzanne Collins was making a point that war is messy. It is fought by sides that can be morally ambiguous, and the people who are directing those sides of the wars are the people who just get the upper hand with whatever mistake or decision that they're making. And everyone in between are just victims and casualties. For the most part, that's just kind of how it goes. So I was just really surprised. When good people from the Capitol died, when bad people died, good people from the rebellion died, bad people from the rebellion died, people die. That's just what she says. She's like, look,
The way of the world.
if war happens, violence happens, and people die.
Even if you're a beautiful specimen of a man called Finnick Odair that didn't deserve that.
Didn't deserve it.
Didn't deserve it.
Didn't deserve it.
But doesn't matter, because this is war. People die.
Exactly. I mean, it matters. Matters to me.
It matters.
Matters to me.
Definitely matters.
I mean, I cried. And especially when you're overthrowing an entire government. An entire government and an entire people. Like, that wouldn't be without consequences. That wouldn't be a clean, in and out, very few people dead kind of deal. That would be straight up war. So,
Yeah.
I was just really impressed with how it's done, and I think that translated really well into film. And it's just really sad, and like there's one part in particular that got to me is when the kids at the Capitol and the other Capitol people reach up for the parachutes when they fall down. That was the only time in the whole movie that I really, like, cried. It was so depressing.
So, usually I would cry at something like that, but for whatever reason, I saw it last night, and I think I was pretty tired, so maybe I was just like, I don't have the energy to cry. But the only time I really, like, teared up was when it was after the bombs went off, and you see the guy holding, like, his daughter or whoever, and I was like,
no, it was the daughter crying over her dad.
That too.
Oh my gosh.
That killed me.
I think a lot of people don't think about this enough. Do you think the entirety of the Capitol is evil? If so, you really, really ought to rethink that opinion.
Read some philosophy.
Not how it works. And I was really surprised because it's such a sensitive time with, like, global politics and stuff. It would have been so easy to appease the masses by making it look like the rebellion always wins and the Capitol is bad, but that's not how it works. Most of the people in the Capitol, I mean, presumably, have lived this way their entire lives, have no idea what's going on in the other districts.
They've been indoctrinated.
And they've heard nothing but propaganda. So that's their truth. That's the truth they know. And where would they have looked in order to learn another truth? How would they have figured it
Censored
out?
history books?
Exactly. Katniss figures it out pretty quickly in Mockingjay. She's like, wait a minute, we can't have a Hunger Games with these kids.
Except that she votes for it.
I think she does it because she's trying... Because remember in the movie, he was like, listen, if Coin thinks for 1 second you're not on her side. And in the book, there's a similar conversation like that. I didn't really realize it until I reread it. But my theory is that she did it purposefully, so that Coin wouldn't suspect. And if not, I think she was just upset at the time. But then later was like, wait a minute, another Hunger Games?
Now I'm gonna shoot this woman instead.
They did it so well in the movie. I know another reason why people hate Mockingjay is because they're like, I want her to kill Snow. It's like, you know...
No.
Snow would have liked that, though. He would have liked that whole martyrdom-looking thing. Like, yeah, I'm tied to a post and I'm killed by that evil person. Like, if there was ever a rise back from the Capitol or anything, they would definitely use him as a martyr.
Yeah.
And I think he wanted that. But instead, she kills Coin out of necessity, and then Snow is trampled by his own people.
I'm pretty sure he's torn apart.
In the movie, he is. And in the book, I'm pretty sure he's just trampled to death.
Yeah.
And no one even cares.
I thought that he was, like, getting trampled, but also was, like, asphyxiating on his own blood as well.
He's also just dying.
He's really, like, you know what, I'm dying.
It's a really undignified death, though, which good. It's what he deserves.
When she shoots Coin and you see Coin in the background, she's got, like, her arms spread and sort of...
Yeah, no, that's symbolic of the
like
Mockingjay,
a Messiah
kind of,
sort of
too.
pose.
But it's also like the Mockingjay. So it's like the Mockingjay she always wanted Katniss to be, yeah.
And the color theory in it is really great, too.
How she's always wearing gray.
She's always in the gray, so it's sort of like, oh, I'm pure, but am I really?
Am I really? Moral ambiguity.
And then, you know, Snow with his white rose and
the
fact that his name is Snow.
Yeah. And Katniss in the red, especially in the posters, because blood has to be spilt in order to get things done. Yeah. Like, Gale's not entirely wrong. So acting. Okay, this is Josh Hutcherson's best movie. He does such a phenomenal job, and if you, like, go from Hunger Games on, he gets better and better with each movie.
He's always been good, but he was just, like, little baby, and now he's just, like...
amazing in this movie.
He's really grown as a performer.
Oh, I know, right? And, like, you feel for him whenever he's like, she's a mutt, you're just like,
oh, babe.
Oh no, Peter, no, I'm sorry, they did these things to you. You know who I also want to see in more movies? I never really had an opinion about her, but now I'm like, hey, you are pretty good at what you do.
Natalie Dormer?
I mean, she's amazing. But no, Prim. She was good in this movie. Yeah. And I'm like, I want you to be in more things. I like you. And she's such a cute little thing. Yeah. I think she's adorable. Liam Hemsworth does really well. He kind of does as well as he's able. So in the movies, they kind of had to make Gale more sympathetic. I don't blame him. Gale's kind of a turd. Douche. Seriously, in the third book, he's like, so I know that we were just going through a battle and whatever, but do you like me now? And it was like,
no.
Is
now really the time?
My opinion on it, and this has changed a few times, but as I am right now, my opinion on it is I think it's more of a writing issue. I think Suzanne Collins' last minute was like, so, do I want to do the triangle thing?
Could have been a publisher's decision, too.
It's possible.
That might be more interesting for a YA audience.
It's possible, but it feels really contrived, and these moments kind of just come out of nowhere. I like the moment they did keep, though. They're just like, oh, it's just like kissing someone who's drunk.
Yeah.
Because that's a great moment.
Like, your mind's still with him. Doesn't count.
Yeah, exactly. Good acting too.
Yeah.
Right? The moment between like Gail and Peter was really good too.
Thrown out.
Well, because they
Katniss.
were. It was less like, I don't trust you, I don't trust you. And it was like, look, I know it's not your fault. Like, I don't hate you. I'm a little peeved, but it's like, whatever.
I don't hate you, I just love her.
Yeah, exactly. And it was a really solid moment as well as a really solid acting moment. But let's be real about who the star of the show was. Jennifer Lawrence is amazing. I know it's cool to like not like Jennifer Lawrence right now because everybody likes Jennifer Lawrence. Cool,
Jennifer
whatever.
Lawrence is amazing. And I love her.
She's a If anything, at the end of the day, you cannot honestly look me in my eyes and tell me she is not a phenomenal actress. Like, can we just agree on that? Like, the end when she's yelling at the cat and, like, I know
People in my theater are like, ugh, because she like spit. But I was like, you know what happens when you ugly cry? You get snot and you get spit. That's why it's ugly crying.
Ugly, yeah, exactly. And it's just, I don't know, it was just a really sad,
You know
sad
who
moment.
the star of that scene was?
Buttercup.
That cat was so mellow.
What are you doing here? Meow. Meow. She's not here anymore. Meow. Buttercup gave no F's that day.
You're not here anymore.
Meow. I got shivers when she got that guy coming off the train. She was like, do it. I am tired. I'm so tired.
Yes.
I was like, girls hit hallelujah.
Yeah.
Floored by that whole dialogue and that scene was really good. She was just like, this is so stupid. Everyone's dying for nothing and I'm tired.
Just for snow.
It was
We're all playing into this game.
exactly. But I don't know, that line when she's just like, I am tired. I'm like, that's Katniss. There it is.
There she is.
Plot-wise, really good. So at the end of the day, everything that was taken out of all of the movies, it ultimately to me didn't really matter.
Yeah.
Like, the way it ended is just a testament to that it was well directed, well written, and it just didn't really matter. Madge? Did you miss Madge by the end of this movie?
Some people did.
Why?
Because people are purists and they're weird.
I'm not... Okay, maybe a little weird,
They're a
but
little weird.
who cares about Madge? Like, at this point. Seriously, it was so good about getting to the heart of the story that, like, really is a little thing like that gonna, like, oh no, though, there was no Madge. You know, that one girl who was in it for 5 seconds once.
And then died.
Oh, she did die, huh?
Yeah, she
No,
did.
who didn't die?
Buttercup.
Gosh dang it, Buttercup. It should have been you! Instead, you took the life of the beautiful one! I actually walked out of the theater during that part.
I know, you told me.
I went to the bathroom, and I was like, oh, this is a good time for a bathroom break.
It wasn't too
I heard the
bad.
mutts, and I was
You
like,
mostly don't hear.
bye.
You mostly don't see it happen.
I don't care. Bye. I don't think I can handle it.
It was really jarring, just because you see him fall and he hits his back on something,
No.
and
No.
I'm assuming that results in some broken bones because he hit pretty hard. And then you see the mutts sort of
What are you doing?
converge, and then Katniss says Nightlock 3 times, drops
What are
the
you
hollow
doing
on
this
him.
to me?
And it explodes because it was a mercy killing, and then they move on. Stop it.
Flick your nose. I'll flick it. Stop your talking of death of beautiful people. It didn't happen. I wasn't there, so it never happened, and he lived, and he went home to his son, and everything was fine.
Schrodinger's Finnick.
Schrodinger's Finnick. Well done. Plot-wise, I was more than happy with any of the changes. I think it's really great the way they integrated, like, those little hints about coin. It really didn't get too obvious until this movie, I felt like. Like, they were really good at doing that, because it wasn't that obvious in the book
When
either.
Snow was like, you think that she's on your side? You're crazy.
I liked the talk with Boggs, when Boggs was like, look, don't trust her.
Yeah.
She's not on your side, and you shouldn't really be on hers. Like, the minute she feels like you are a threat to her politically, it's not that she's going to kill you. Well, I think she would have, but at the time we weren't entirely sure. But she's definitely not going to try to keep you alive. You know what I mean? And I think that's really interesting. And all of a sudden you realize the rhetoric of her, like, speeches and stuff are really manipulative and creepily, eerily similar to the same speeches that Snow gives.
Funny how her name is Coin.
Like one different side of the coin.
2 sides of the same.
English majors. We're so smart.
I am so smart.
I like-
am Marty.
I loved the end, the way they did the end. None of it was overly romantic, which I thought was great, because they did justice to Peeta and Katniss's relationship. They said the word... Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, it wasn't like, oh, well, the war's over and everything's fine. You want to go?
Get it on. Well, they made it clear that they loved each other without there needing to be a lot of physical, anything. Because that wasn't the point. They were like, look, I love him. Like, I love him. I know this about her. I know this about him. And we're clearly in love with each other. And the ending with them just, like, baking together, watching the rain, like, kind of healing together, made that
the moment where they're
really...
watching the rain and she looks at him, and it's like, oh, I know that look. It's so cute. Oh
yeah.
my gosh, you love him.
I liked that it was clear that now that she has babies, everything isn't okay. She's like, look.
Just because you have kids doesn't mean you're like a fresh new person.
Yeah, exactly. Like, she still deals with things. Like, she's like, look, what happens to me is I make lists. I list all the good things that anyone's ever done, and it's tedious, but it keeps the nightmares away temporarily, and it helps. I thought that was sweet.
Because that's kind of what you have to do when you have anxiety and other similar issues. You have to, like, ground yourself in reality.
If I ever have, like, a serious panic attack, I have to hold onto things, touch things, like
I have to mentally
Jordan,
talk myself down.
Or, like, if I were having one, I would touch the chair, I would touch the wall, like, I'd be like, this is real life, these are the things that I feel that are real. And so that's, like, a really interesting example of that. Like, these are real things that happened. Or even Peeta's real or not real.
Yeah.
Is a really good example of that, too.
Like, verbal reassurance is a big thing.
Yeah.
For me, too. I'll be like, am I okay? Am I okay? And someone has to, like, verbally tell me, like,
yeah, you're okay. Exactly. I guess, like, we live in a pretty crappy Hollywood toilet bowl of young adult fiction world. If I have to be surprised that there's a lot of respect to people with PTSD and, like, just respect to, like, how romance works and how war works. Like, young adults aren't stupid, okay? Like, I know a lot of you guys. I read your comments. I've been in the YouTube community for quite a while. You know what you're talking about, and you are very intuitive and just you be observant and you're intelligent. So why spoon feed you formulaic black and white crap when you can create something so beautiful? So Suzanne Collins didn't, and we got something really amazing out of it, and I'm sad to say goodbye, Camille. I don't want to say goodbye.
I don't either. We've been reading these since high school.
Yeah.
And I remember the day that I told you I found a book that you would like, and you said that you had already read it, and I was like, should have known.
I read it during an assembly.
Oh, good.
I probably should have been paying attention. I was not. Everybody had left, and I looked up, and everyone was gone. I was like, I gotta go back to class! I remember that. It's just because from the beginning, it was just a really touching, amazing story, and I think it may.
It's gonna be hard.
It's been such a big part of my life, even now, all through college. I'm married now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We're older, wiser in the brain.
I
don't want to say goodbye.
don't either.
I don't want to say goodbye.
But think of the movie marathons. We can start Sam Claflin.
Girl's got a point. Oh, I love Sam Claflin.
Me too.
If you're Sam Claflin and you're watching this,
We love you.
we do love you very much. And Jennifer Lawrence, and Josh Hutcherson, and Liam Hemsworth, everyone else. Effie and Haymitch kissed.
Yeah! Get
Ew.
it!
We got to the really important thing last. Anyway,
That was so cute. I wanted it to happen actually in
it's
the
time
movies.
to say goodbye to a series that we love.
I'm sure there will be more, but there will be another.
Which one is this three finger? So is it the right?
What's the
You
right?
gotta do the whistle. Panem today.
No.
Panem tomorrow.
No!
Panem forever.
No!
Hey. Lately, I've been getting a lot of the same questions about the popular YA trilogy, The Hunger Games by Suzanne Collins. So let's talk. I am legitimately shaking right now. The Hunger Games teaser trailer! Yay! What? I'm sorry. What? Do you remember the first teaser trailer where Katniss like walked
For
around the
2
woods?
seconds and we were all like, "Ah, trees!
God, that was awesome! Yes! Yes, 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 yes. Yes. response to the Hunger Games movie is, oh my gosh, beautiful perfection of gorgeousness. So awesome. Amazing masterdom of awesome, lovely, amazing greatness.
What are we doing today, Cammy?
We'll go watch the Catching Fire trailer.
Trailer 2?
Yeah.
Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god, it was so good!
I'm gonna cry.
I'm gonna die! Oh my gosh, 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 oh my gosh!
I can't do anything.
Oh my gosh!
It's a giant Mockingjay.
Who cares about my card number? Nick and Prim are dead! Nothing matters!
Hello. I love you. Who is my favorite character in the series? Hands down, Katniss Everdeen. Can I just fall to Jennifer Lawrence, fall to my knees, and just thank you for existing? May the odds be ever in your favor. This is for you. You're amazing. You are all amazing people, and thank you. Suzanne Collins, you.